I'm Jenny Gage, and this is Life Take Two.
You know, it's so interesting because I lived in Manhattan for a while and I loved this city. I'm going to come at this from a female voter because a high percentage of his voters were female. I think there's a tendency, especially when you live in a city like Manhattan, where, again, you are so career-driven and you almost look to the government as a form of replacement for certain things, relationship-wise even. So you see things a little bit differently. What I don't want to have happen is women, young women in the city, look to the government as a solution to put off having a family or a marriage because you're relying on the government to support you instead of being united with the husband where you can support yourself and your husband can support and you can guys all combine together. But I just find it so ironic and so interesting that a heavy percentage of the individuals that voted for him were female.
Before we dive into Erika Kirk, I should probably tell you about a terrible personal choice that I made today. I've been wearing my hair short and straight as an act of political protest since followers were telling me that I still looked MAGA. But tonight I'm taking Kevin out to dinner, and it's like a dress up with our friends type of dinner. So of course I couldn't resist pulling out my curling iron and doing the Utah waves. And I'm regretting it so much right now because I look like I'm either auditioning for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or Fox News. And that's not the vibe I'm going for. Back to Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk gave this ridiculous speech about why Mamdani won, chalking it up to women replacing men with the government. And I literally haven't gotten a good night's sleep since I heard it. And I won't until I finish this video. Right off the bat, I noticed two things outside of what she said. First, and why is nobody talking about this? Why is she wearing the Serena Joy uniform? Just the Serena Joy Waterford funeral dress alone terrified me. I actually put this presentation on pause just to stare at it on my big screen TV. Cold chills up my ankles. Somebody explained this wardrobe choice to me in a way that makes sense. After that, I noticed the contradiction between Erika's lived reality, rich, independent, publicly powerful, and the lifestyle she promotes for other women. Here's Erika Kirk's Scottsdale home. It's bigger than the hotel that Kevin and I stay in when we go up to Scottsdale for the weekend. She was a single woman living in New York without a husband in the middle of Manhattan. She's the CEO of her dead husband's company, and the words coming out of her mouth don't reflect any of the actual reality of Erika Kirk. Is Erika Kirk on mushrooms? What's happening? Everyone is talking about what she said, and as a woman who spent a lot of my own life in Scottsdale, Arizona, and who was until 2 years ago a MAGA nut, and who spent the first 44 years of my life as a Mormon Christian nationalist, 24 years as a trad wife, and all the things. I personally care a lot more why Erika said what she said. So here we go. First, let's get something straight before we go any further. A lot of people picture Erika Kirk as this cute little housewife in the suburbs, and that is not her life at all. It never has been. Erika Kirk was born into wealth in Scottsdale, Arizona. She did not grow up choosing between rent and groceries. She didn't build her adult life under financial terror or stress of any sort. She has always been a princess in a castle her entire life. And she spent years as a single independent woman in New York City without a husband, without a provider, without any government dependence. So when Erika suggests that women are replacing husbands with government, she's not speaking from her own experience at all. I guess she only thinks Democratic women who would vote for Mamdani do single life badly. She did it the right way, and this is a theme with Erika. She talks a lot about truth. She talks a lot about righteousness. She talks a lot about the right way of doing things. Anyway, she is speculating about the lives of working class women from the safety of inherited power. That's Marie Antoinette standing on a balcony speculating about hunger when she's never even felt her tummy rumble for 5 minutes. She is speculating from that safety of inherited power, and she has reasons why those ridiculously idiotic words came tumbling out of her mouth. And that's the part no one is really investigating. Why would she say this? Why would a rich, powerful, independent woman lecture other women about dependence? Why push a lifestyle she's not living and has never lived? By the way, she was only married to Charlie for 4 years. She was in her late 30s when they married, so the tiny drop in her life was actually spent as a wife. So why push this lifestyle on women who don't have her power, her money, the protection that she had? Let's talk about the real reasons. Number one, this is not about women. It's about class. Erika is upper class. She's speaking as somebody from the upper class. At her level of wealth, which is now vast, the government does not threaten her survival, but it does threaten her class. When wealthy people say family should replace government, when they say women shouldn't rely on public support, or socialism is dangerous, what they're really saying is, don't touch my money. I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to support anybody but myself. Because social safety nets don't hurt poor people. They help poor people. Here's what they hurt: concentrated wealth. This isn't motherhood advice. It's class protection disguised as family values. Number two, and I know this one like the back of my MAGA-looking hand, patriarchy rewards the women who defend it. Here's an uncomfortable truth that none of the women inside of this patriarchal power structure will ever admit to you, but I will because I'm no longer part of it. Patriarchy pays women who defend it with platforms, praise, power, protection, and the title of the reasonable one, the good one, the ideal. Go look at Ballerina Farm Hannah's comment section. You're the perfect woman, people tell her. You're the ideal. You are the dream woman. She's a rich feminist playing a religious trad wife on TV. And boy, do the boys in charge love her. Men in Ballerina Farm's comment section go batshit crazy over what they're seeing on screen. And these patriarchal power vacuums, you get rewarded for shaming other women, defending male authority, framing submission as the ultimate virtue, and making the cage look like a choice. Erika doesn't live that life, but she is absolutely being paid by influence and actual money for guarding it. Number three, this whole thing out of Erika Kirk here is tribal loyalty, not truth. When we see somebody on a stage in front of a microphone, we feel like they're speaking their hearts, that they're speaking with integrity, that they're speaking to their own authentic conscience. But public figures do not usually speak from conscience. They often speak from tribal alignment. Her audience does not want to hear things like men are failing economically and emotionally at a large scale. Capitalism broke the family. Women became independent because dependence on men became dangerous and still is. The state had to replace what men and markets abandoned. They don't want to hear any of that. Those are career-ending sentences in Erika's world. One of these comes out of her mouth and she's toast. And any of these, by the way, would have been great, real talking points to why Mamdani won. Why did so many women vote for Mamdani? Because capitalism broke the family, because men are failing economically and emotionally at scale, because the state had to replace what men and markets abandoned. Those would have been actual great answers. She can't say any of that. So instead, the blame gets rerouted to women's choices. Women chose to have the government replace their husbands so they could be single cat ladies riding the subways for free and eating free food with food stamps. In the patriarchy, women are always the bad guys. I know this firsthand. I had so much internalized misogyny that I will be in therapy for the rest of my life just to try to fix it. Biblical mythology is wild. Eve ate the fruit, so she was the bad guy. Everything collapsed because one bite of an apple. The Bible is full of Jezebels and Delilahs and hoes at wells. It's always the woman's fault. And when Erika defends the system, that's not honesty, that's obedience. Number 4, this is how the rich handle guilt. When you benefit from wealth, independence, safety, support, and opportunity in a society where most women don't, one very human, very normal defense mechanism is convince yourself that everyone else is just choosing wrong. Because if it's their fault, then the system that you are benefiting from stays completely innocent. Shame on all these women replacing kind, good provider husbands and apple pie and family values with the government. And also, I feel like she's replacing Charlie with the government. But I promised myself that in this video, I wouldn't talk about J.D. Vance. Number 5, elites get flexibility. Everyone else gets rules. Here's what most people miss. Ideologies are often aspirational for the masses, but optional for the elite. Cult leaders never, ever, ever obey the rules. That's their only rule. Having come from multiple cults myself and spending my entire life in one cult on top of another in this culty dog pile, I will tell you, the people at the top are never doing any of the stuff that they tell the people at the bottom that they have to do. That's the only rule. They're above the law. So Erika can be independent, wealthy, untethered, and visible, while also arguing that other women should be dependent. Private men should replace public systems. Marriage should replace social infrastructure. And this little bit right here is so ironic to me because Erika has benefited more, I would say, from social programs and the government than all the single cat ladies in all of Manhattan. And the contradiction of these words out of Erika's mouth with her reality, this isn't accidental. That's hierarchy doing exactly what it was designed to do. She's above the law. That untouchableness is part of the allure. Now let's spend just a minute in my least favorite place, which, as you know, is Jenny's MAGA confessional booth. Here's the part that's personal. 7 years ago, I personally was very Erika Kirky, and not just because of the blonde curls. I was just the less rich Mormon version of Erika. I pushed the trad wife lifestyle so hard that I built a website and had an entire blog and platform dedicated to selling the Mormon Trad Wife life. I defended male authority like my life depended on it because it did. I defended capitalism because somehow I thought that Jesus had invented it, and I defended submission. Just 7 years ago, you could not have pried traditional family and submissive wifery out of my white knuckle grip if your life depended on it. It was my life. I hated single feminist quacks. And yes, I was privileged. And yes, I didn't want to pay higher taxes to losers who couldn't take care of themselves. And yes, I fought socialism like my life depended on it, even when I had doubts, even when something felt off. I still defended the status quo. Why? Because I was afraid of being judged, afraid of losing money, afraid of losing my status, afraid of falling out of line and out of favor, afraid of not looking cool on the outside and not being accepted by my group. So I walked the line. I protected the tribe. I played the role. And I need to say this too. I wasn't evil and twisted. I was just ignorant. I lived in the echo chamber of Mormonism, just like Erika Kirk has spent so long in the echo chamber of Christianity and then Turning Point and the big MAGA empire. I didn't understand economics. I didn't understand history. I didn't understand politics. I didn't understand what women outside of my bubble actually lived through. So I spent my entire life defending a system that I didn't understand at all because it benefited me until it didn't. That life, take two, by the way, was a hard crash. I'll tell you that. So when Erica Kirk talks about women replacing husbands with the government, I don't hear wisdom or insight or profound thoughts at all. I hear class fear, patriarchal loyalty, echo chamber thinking, and the voice I used to have before the world cracked me open. The argument that Erika Kirk presented is not about women choosing wrongly. It's about powerful people defending a system that still feeds them. I'd like to end this video by speaking directly to Erika, who I have also reached out to via the Turning Point USA email. Erika, maybe come spend one weekend outside of Turning Point. Maybe step outside the MAGA echo chamber for just 48 hours. Maybe just spend 2 itty-bitty little days with an outspoken, woke, atheist feminist named Jenny Gage. Have your driver bring you to Tucson. I'll buy you shrimp enchiladas at Amelia's, and I'll show you the real life of the women you're talking about. Not the stereotype, not the talking point, not the idea of them, the reality. It's easy to defend the cage when you already have the key to open the door and you're out. Come listen to a woman who is stuck inside without the key. I think we'd have a lot to talk to. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. I will be doing Erika Kirk Part 2 tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you. Mwah.